I found it to be very entertaining. There was a lot of diversity, and I think that being able to tell a local story, like the guitar maker from the refugee camp, and my favorite, actually, the one that touched me most personally, was the first one that I walked into, which was the story about the boys called The Hunters.
I thought it was a really interesting experience. I just thought that not only was it films from Malawi, but all around Africa. That's why I really love storytelling, is that you can see through the eyes of other people and you can see things which really inspire others.
Just getting the submissions, it was a really, really hard process with the selection committee reviewing everything that came in, but just amazing to see the depth of talent. And there were a lot of really great films that haven't made the cut this year round, but it's really been an eye-opener for me to see how much talent there is around the world, but also here in Malawi. Young filmmaking talent that's up and coming. It's really amazing.
Bad blood flowing through her veins. She's got bad blood flowing through her veins.
One thing that I also really like is that you have the directors here, and then you have the performances, so there's a little bit of variety. You also are highlighting and featuring work that's presented in the documentaries. That's something I don't see very often.
And it was just a really touching moment to have poets, musicians, people telling their story.
What I liked about this festival is the idea of incorporating the kids. Kids taught. I think, that's an excellent idea. I've been to lots of festivals, and kids or the youths are often left out. But these are the generations, we can watch out for. To the kids that we have, then surely we have a future. And because the future is in them.
The film festival itself came out of an idea from a discussion with filmmakers. We hosted an artist forum in 2013, and then at Lake of Stars last year, another filmmakers discussion. And one of the ideas that came out of that from the filmmakers themselves was to create another kind of festival here in Malawi. And I think it's not only giving a platform to Malawian filmmakers, but it's also a good way of connecting them with other filmmakers in the region and getting their films to other festivals around Africa.
We don't have these kinds of expositions all the time. And when something like this comes along, it's a blessing. It's quite an icing. And as a filmmaker, I think it helps me to grow. Actually, by just watching yesterday, going through all these screenings, I feel I've already changed.
Can you just share the dream, the vision? What is the vision?
Okay, my vision being in Dzaleka, I say that it's not something I should take for granted, like me being in the refugee camp and being, crying, wondering I should do something. And I thought of telling stories about great people I met in Dzaleka.
Imagine one morning, armed executioners arrive at your door, hitting you soundly without sparing your father, your mother, and your whole family. Imagine that under threat of death, you're forced to have sex with your own mother.
Comparing to a few years back, I would say there's a bit of an improvement, in terms of even the acting, because I think it comes with a certain professionalism with it, and sometimes if people are not professional in the field, it can be very obvious that you're just remembering or memorizing stuff and not really acting it out. So I would say we've improved somehow. I think the acting is better. I think everything else that makes up the production, the music, the lighting, everything is, we're improving, I would say, when I compare to like a few years back.
It would be very unfair for me to start comparing Malawian films with the international films, because where we are now, the stage where we are now, I would say we actually just sitting. we haven't even started walking, but that's what happens in everything. As a baby, we've got to sit and then start running. But I believe, give us some 2-3 years, we'll be running.
We're going in a good direction. Yes, we are. So, but I still think we still have a long journey, because it's not just about the film. I think even other things that we see on TV, like even our adverts and the way we present ourselves, There's still a lot of training, I think, that we still need.
As you know, our film industry is quite new, like most of us don't really know the skills. Some of us are trained maybe in film, or some of us have been in the industry for some time now. So, if you're given a chance to share, some ideas on, how to make films, why not? But also just to be, just to learn more, on how others are doing.
Every art or every art form requires an audience, and I think that's my cry for the moment. That it seems that culture is not well integrated into the community. It's either maybe they don't have the information about what is taking place, or maybe they just feel like they're not part of that film industry. That's how I felt like yesterday. I said, look at all these beautiful films and all these good films. Where are the people? We're not supposed to have an empty seat, actually. But I guess I think it's also upon us as filmmakers to connect ourselves to the general public.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that you're ready. You ready? Yeah. Good. Okay, at this juncture, let me call the director of Lilongwe Shorts to just give us...
So for Lilongwe Shorts, technically my title is Creative Director, so I've helped put the festival together. But obviously I've had a lot of help from the Film Association of Malawi and also from Lake of Stars. Those two are co-presenting, and then of course sponsors or DSTV, and then Airtel has also come in. So they've made this happen, really.
As an association, this is quite an achievement. It's a great start. This is actually our first film festival, and I would really love to say thank you to the organizers, our partners, Lake of Stars. This will give Malawi a total meaning in the film industry. So this is great. For me as a filmmaker, it's, I don't know how to say it. It's totally new. I've been on such platforms before outside Malawi, but this is actually happening in my country, and above all in Lilongwe, where I'm actually based. I'm a Lilongwe girl, and I feel good that this is happening here.
To be perfectly honest, normally when you run an event, you're totally in the event, and then when it's over, all you just want to do is just forget about everything and relax for a few days. But already I'm making notes about things that we can do better next year. So I'm getting really excited actually to come back in a year and do the Lilongwe Shorts 2016. So it's definitely going to be there.
Definitely, I'll be here. I'll be here for next year. I look forward to that.